back to being red, to not going red. How did you exactly phrase it?
Being left on red.
Being left on red. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the worst excuses that some women give, especially when a guy flirts them, is that, I didn't see it. Yeah, you did. You left them on red.
Well, I mean, I can understand why they would, women get a lot more unsolicited attention than men do, generally speaking. And so they've got to be a bit more ruthless than men generally. But that also doesn't mean that you can't be polite. It's not the same as a face-to-face conversation. There's no looming threat, if you will.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, what you said before about what you do when you intend to not communicate with another person applies to all human beings.
It's true.
So they could do the same.
Yeah, I would like people to do it, but I understand more so for women than I do for men.
I would understand if someone just doesn't get the message. The only thing to do is to stop replying.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about cases that don't fit that category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where it's someone genuinely interested without being a pushover or necessarily very pushy.
Mm-hmm. I've had it before. I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. And then I've received like 10 different walls of text. It's like, yeah, I'm not replying to that. Get lost. I'm just going to ignore that. That's disrespectful to me after what I've said. But where was I? So
last point was not leave people on red.
Of course. Yes. So the final thing I wanted to touch on with this is just know when a conversation has come to its natural conclusion. If it seems like things are wrapping up, don't force the continuation of the conversation just out of social politeness, because I've been caught in a sort of loop of this where I've been replying out of politeness and trying not to leave it to die because I don't want the other person to think that I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
But also the conversation has died. It should just be left. And the other person's doing the same thing. And so they're caught in this sort of perpetual orbit of both being held in a loop of politeness hostage taking.
And the funniest thing with conversations of this sort is that some people want to have the last word and they say goodbye.
That's mainly like teenage boyfriend and girlfriend on the phone. It carries on,
yeah.
I've done that before, sort of very cheesy romance movie thing.
There's a sense of pride in having the last word, and both of them want it, and the conversation carries on.
I'll let the other person have the last word because I have the best words, so it's fine. I'm the real winner. So, onto social media, and particularly posting on social media. I'm going to be brief with this because I don't really use that much social media. I have Twitter and that's it. I used to have Facebook and Instagram and all of that. I deleted Instagram very long ago because I got sick of seeing people's lunch and their ass, and women fishing for likes and all that stuff. And I was like, this is just demeaning to the human experience. So gone. And I had to get rid of Facebook because I had all my family on there and lots of people were adding me through because they knew me through Lotus Eaters, and I didn't want those two worlds to collide. Like people posting on my family's posts and stuff like that. That's weird. It's weird is what it is. You guys, not you watching this specifically, but I wanted my personal...
Some comments can get weird.
Yeah, I wanted my personal life and my public life to be a bit separate because, part of having a public facing job is you shield your family from the attention that you get, right? And I've unintentionally talked about the manners and etiquette of this job instead of social media. But I have a lot of views on what you should post on social media because when I did use it, I found most people incredibly annoying.
Annoying?
Yes, annoying. Good Hot Fuzz reference. If you insist on using social media, which, I generally speaking say avoid it unless you've got a purpose. The main thing I used Facebook for was I followed loads of musicians I liked, so I knew when they were coming out with new music on tour. That was very useful. I've now used Bandcamp, so it's redundant. And I also use Twitter exclusively for political content. So for work, basically. And I would say if you're posting, don't use it to boast or fish for compliments. Just like, oh, I'm so done right now. Shut up. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like women trying to be like, oh, are you okay, hun? Shut up. No. Part of me, the sort of dark part of my brain wants to reply just like, you deserve your misery. Just be a real life troll. Just like with my actual face and profile. I have one or two times I have done that on Facebook where someone's done something so egregious. I'm just like, are you for real? What the hell are you doing? And the funny thing is, most people are just, support that as well.
Yeah.
Like people won't like it publicly, but then they'll come up to me and just like, what you said to that person was hilarious, by the way. Like it'd be at like a party, there'd be lots of mutual people there that know both me and the person I was being rude to. And
I have a sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah, people understand that it's taboo, but they also like you for doing it because you're like taking a bullet for them. So there's a sort of question there of what is the polite thing? Because on the one hand, you're saving a lot of other people from the suffering of someone else's poor conduct, but at the same time, you are being rude to someone. So, I mean, that's up to you how you want to do it. Generally speaking, it's probably better to play it safe and not do it. But sorry.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you entirely. And there was I don't have a great Twitter presence. I'm not usually online.
No,
I think I'm the least online person from the office.
I'm probably a close second there because I don't know. When I'm outside of work, I tend not to go on my phone at all. I see it as a work thing, other than like talking to friends and stuff like that. Like I want to switch off. I want work-life balance. That's important, right? That's why I tend to be chipper in front of the camera, is that when I go home, I have a life.
Yeah. No, it's just that sometimes I get really tempted to write something very offensive or something and very rude to some people I think deserve it. But, I just think at the end of the day, what's the point?
I have done that once or twice to people on Twitter.
Yeah.
I find it's normally when they're just really condescending to me or rude or just making snap judgments about me. I'm just like, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to, give you a quick jab in return in a metaphorical sense, just to remind you that you're crossing a line a little bit. You're getting on my nerves. Yeah. And then I'll leave it at that. If they respond after that, I'm just like, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument.
I remember, I just deleted one where instantly, after a bit, because there was someone saying that she was twice divorced and men are bad and whatever. She was saying the worst things about men. And I just wrote, I can understand why you're twice divorced or something like that. But, some people showed it and told me maybe, that's not the best thing to have up there. And
it made me laugh. So yeah. Can't be all bad.
I took it down. Yeah. It wasn't for long, but
yeah, I'm sure there were other people saying the same thing.
There are some people who just ask for it.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
They're asking for it.
I think almost taking a paternal approach to these sorts of things. Just like, are you sure you should really be saying this sort of thing? Don't you realise that it makes you look a little bit bad? I don't think it's going to help your situation. Be a bit sympathetic sometimes. I've even done this to like leftists where I'm just like, you do realise how bad that looks. You're not helping yourself here. And sometimes they actually genuinely appreciate it. It's like, oh, well, thank you. Like it's surprising because I think people might see it the wrong way, like I'm being a bit rude to them, which, it might be a touch confrontational, but at the same time, I'm not calling them names or anything like that. Yeah. So, but my general point that I was trying to make previously was people can see if you're using social media self-servingly. People have an intuitive sense of this, so don't do it. I mean, the ideal situation is not to be self-serving in the first place. And, that's perhaps harder for some people than others, but I think is an important part of being a moral person is that you stand for higher ideals other than your own interests. And that's...
Or you align your interests with higher ideals rather than base pleasures.
Yes.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.